The fact that for the first 3 months we dated, he never wanted us to go over to his place. Turns out that he was a hoarder. Oh, I did not think that's where this was going. Okay. I thought like he would, like, I don't know, maybe you guys were older and you, like, he lived with his parents or he lived with a girlfriend or a wife. That's where I thought this was going. No, instead we are going to the hoarder route. Okay, yep, Listen, teach their own, but my OCD would never allow me to date a hoarder. There's no freaking way. I am like Monica from Friends. I like things clean and I like them clean a certain way and I like organization and things like that. Hoarding would literally put me in the grave. I was crying about something and he wouldn't hug me because he didn't want to encourage that kind of behavior. Crying?
Why is that a bad thing?
Don't want to encourage human emotions. God forbid you encourage human emotions, right? I mean, what a terrible, terrible thing to do. Show emotion and cry. Man, I could never date someone like that because I cry. I cry when I'm sad. I'm definitely not one of the girls who can't cry. Like, I cry quite often. I'll cry out of anger too, as well, in case you're wondering. One of my exes didn't know how to say no to anything. That came back to bite both me and him once we figured out that was the reason he started dating me in the first place. Okay, wait a second though. What do you mean he can't say no? That's a lame excuse. You know, he's choosing to say no because you can say no. And that's fine. Some people have more of a difficult time with saying no, but like, too bad. Not an excuse. Listen, no tea, no shade, but I dated someone who would do things like say inappropriate things to other females and then be like, oh, well, I'm just too nice. I'm just being nice. Anyways, this reminded me of that. I'm not bitter. No, me? No way. He wanted to be a teacher, but didn't think he should teach high school students since he definitely be tempted by the girls. We were 21. There was more and things got bad, but I definitely brushed that comment off a little too quickly. Yes, you did, my friend. Yes, you freaking did. Yes, that is a comment that should not be ignored and should probably be reported to the police. This is gonna get uncomfortable, so let's brush past this moment because that is more of a serious topic, obviously. And yeah, that, I mean, yeah, that's a little, it's disturbing and concerning. He was still living with his ex-wife. I was stupid and sad at 19. Oh, you're 19? How old is this man that you're dating? Ugh, I mean, I just like, whatever. If their marriage ended and they're still living together, to each their own, but I just wouldn't want to get involved with someone like that. Like, that's not even like, sure, it's a red flag, but at the same time, it's like, that's kind of on you that you got involved with someone who was still living with his ex-wife. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just a situation I wouldn't really want to be involved in from the start because ex or not, you shouldn't be living with your ex anything. There's no freaking way. There's no way I would ever be able to date someone who's living with their ex. That's absurd. No. He got angry at me for looking nice and wearing makeup when I wasn't with him. He felt he was the only one I should look nice for. Younger me put up with it. I wish I could go back in time and slap some sense into myself. Girl, I wish you could too. I'm just a girl, wake up. But you know what? I've been there. I can relate to this. There was definitely a point in my life where, yeah, I was somehow convinced by someone else's insecurities that you looking hot or dressing up and looking nice was like you were cheating or you were doing something wrong because you shouldn't look that way for other people. Oh man alive. Even saying it out loud, I just want to punch myself in the face because like I'm disappointed in myself, really. I don't care about them. I'm disappointed in myself. Girl. It is not a crime to feel yourself. Confidence is not a crime. Confidence is not cheating. You are allowed to feel hot. You are allowed to feel yourself. You're allowed to look good and not be shamed for it. He packed protection for his study abroad trip, which he defended by saying he's looking out for his friends. Yeah, right. Okay, I'm glad we're all on the same page that this is a red flag because yeah, freaking right, buddy. Your friends can get their own alone. I don't buy it. That would be a deal breaker. Bye-bye. See you later. When you come back from your trip, I will be gone and I will be single. And so will you. Maybe, because clearly you have plans for your trip. Not every single one of his ex-girlfriends were crazy. He was just a sociopathic serial cheater who made them crazy. Yep. I mean, this goes both ways, boys and girls, but usually when someone's like, oh, my ex was crazy, oh, my ex, like all their exes are crazy, it's like the one common denominator though is you. And that goes both ways, girls and boys, you know what I'm saying? Like vice versa. Oh, it's so funny. Usually, yeah, anyways. I could just like talk about my own personal life in every single one of these. I'm sure a lot of my exes walk around saying I'm crazy. Oh, I can only imagine. The one that cheated on me probably walks around and says I'm crazy. Oh yeah, every one of my exes are probably like, that girl was crazy. And it's like, was I? Was I? Or were you a sociopath? Or were you a cheater? Or were you insecure? He kept my name hidden for half a year from his friends, gave the excuse that it would be awkward since one of his friends had fancied me for a couple of years. Turns out he acted as though he didn't even have a girlfriend at school and constantly flirted with other girls. Of course, I found out he was cheating the whole time afterwards. I mean, I called that from the first sentence when I was reading it. And that's sad, I'm sorry. But one of his friends fancied you. It's like, dude, that makes no sense that would be a reason why you hid them for half a year. Because it doesn't matter when you tell them, whether it's now or 6 months from now, if that friend fancied you, like it doesn't matter. They're gonna find out anyways. It's silly. It's a silly, silly excuse. He told me that he'd no longer find me attractive, let alone marriage material, if he found out I'd ever slept. I can't even read this and say this out loud. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? That is more than a red flag, y'all. Like people like that, they deserve an extra slice of instant karma, because what the I can't. I would never even associate myself with someone who ever said that to me, let alone be a boy, like their girlfriend. You wouldn't be my friend. You wouldn't be an acquaintance. You would not be around me ever. That's a different kind of level of crazy. What's the biggest red flag you ignored? So they said, when his own parents told me I shouldn't date him. I was young and naive at the time. I married one of those. When I called his grandmother to tell her we were getting divorced, her response was, we were wondering what was taking you so long. Oh boy, oh boy. Yep. I mean, it is bad when their own family is like you can be with someone else maybe, you know? Because you trust like their parents. Usually families like are rooting for you and they always have your back, but like they also know when you're crazy, you know? He kept talking about how attractive guys were. I'm assuming that ended as I'm guessing it did. Like I didn't want to be rude and just assume that this person and I never want to assume someone's sexuality, because you know what? I find some girls, I'm like, damn, that girl is hot. However, I am straight. So I would never want to assume just because a guy can admit that another guy is a good looking dude. I would never want to assume someone's sexuality. So I need the answer. I assumed that's how it ended too. And I figured just by the topic of things and how you said it that is it. But I need a confirmation, please. I don't know, man. I walk around all the time. Like Miley Cyrus, hot. Okay, there are some hot girls and I'm like, damn, she's good looking. You know? Like, I don't know. I feel like there ain't nothing wrong with that. However, if you are like sexually attracted to them in like a different level, different story. That night my dad passed, he asked if he really needed to over since he was to come over since he was hosting okay. The night my dad passed, he asked if he really needed to come over, I assume, since he was co-hosting a house party. We'd been together over a year at that point. I wasted another year with that girl. You better not have. You better not have. Even if I was dating them for 2 weeks and my father passed, the least you can do is just I'm not even saying you gotta come to the funeral if you were uncomfortable at that point because we were only dating for 2 weeks, but you better come over and check in Make sure I'm okay. Give me a hug. That's great. Co-hosting a house party. Girl, you know, you should have left. You should have left, but you know that. You know that. You don't need me to tell you. All right, well, those are some red flags, y'all. Maybe this will help you in your future or your current situations. You better see those red flags and you better act upon them sooner rather than later, okay? Don't be like the people in these stories or me. Stay classy out there and stay sassy. Biggest red flags for toxic boyfriends. We already did girlfriends. You know we gotta do boyfriends. Have you even subscribed to the channel yet? Don't be a fake fan. Hit that subscribe button. You know you want to.